Let's pretend like the other streams that we tried to do over the past like half hour, let's pretend those streams didn't happen. Let's pretend all the internet connection issues, the feedback stuff that was completely ruining my system on this PC, let's pretend all that didn't happen. We're starting with a clean slate here. Clean slate, fresh, and ready to talk about this godforsaken Phillies team right now. Because don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because I'm still mad. Don't worry about it, Scott. I'm still mad. I saw your comment in here. Take a deep breath before everything. No, I'm still mad. I'm still very mad. Very upset. This is not what I envisioned the way to start the year. And yes, I am still a guy that loves the praise. It's early. It's way too early to panic. All that stuff. But everyone here in the chat, everyone here on social media, every Phillies fan, they deserve to be pissed. They deserve to be annoyed. They deserve to be irritated. I'm irritated along with you. I am pissed along with you. And I am angry along with you. Because right now, the brand of baseball that we're seeing, the brand of just stupidity that we're seeing with this baseball team right now, the decision making, the lack of hitting with runners in scoring position, your top guys just not doing anything right now, and I'm talking about, guys like Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner, and, just the sheer mental mistakes that this team makes. It's unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable to go from the first game of the series against Miami to where you're scoring 15 runs, you put 9 on Sandy. And then you go to the past 2 nights. Yesterday, Aaron Nola implodes, and then you get the base running mistake by Bryce and Stott, which probably could have changed the entire pace of what the ball game was going to be. If Bryson Stott doesn't get thrown out yesterday, who knows what happens in the rest of that inning. Then you go to today. The game was completely set from the very bottom of the first inning. The tone was set. Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, they both lead off with singles. You get first and third, and then eventually Trey Turner steals second base. What happens after that? Kyle Schwarber swinging at the first pitch, popping up. Nick Castellanos striking out. JT Realmuto striking out. So, the tone of what was set for the rest of this ballgame, what it was going to be, it was set in that bottom of the first inning. And you can already tell the feeling around the ballpark. You can already sense the anger from the fans. And granted, it's warranted. It is very warranted. Because you get 2 guys on the started inning and you don't score them at all. That's what's been going on with this team for some reason in these first 12 games. I don't know what the issue is at this point. Hell, we're even talking about finally seeing a starting pitcher go 6 innings in a ball game. Zack Wheeler did that today. He battled. He definitely battled, and I believe this is probably the best start so far for him this year. But to take this long for a starting pitcher to go 6 innings, seriously, like I've said, your best pitcher this year in the starting rotation has been Matt Strahm, and he was signed to be a bullpen guy. And it took this long for a guy to go 6 innings in a goddamn ball game. It's ridiculous at this point. Like, how long are we going to talk about, how these guys were prepared in spring training, how they weren't properly stretched out, how they weren't properly prepared to start the year? We're talking about the third, 4 starts for these guys, and they're barely getting to the 6th inning. When is enough enough? When is the point where I don't care, go out there and do your goddamn job? Because that, at the end of the day, you're not doing that. Aaron Nola hitting a wall for the 50,000th time yesterday. Zack Wheeler, he did struggle in that 5th inning, walking a lot of guys, bases loaded jam, but he found a way to get out of it. Zack Wheeler today faced a little bit of adversity, and he found a way to get out of that adversity. Aaron Nola yesterday did not. So there's a little bit of a difference right there between Wheeler and Nola. Not the harp on Nola, but it's just the obvious, fact right here. And when you're looking at Aaron Nola's stats, you're seeing the whiff rate and all that stuff, especially when he's in the stretch, it's completely worse. Yet last year, it was fantastic. The whiff rate, the soft contact, all that. It was fantastic last year at Nola. This year, it's about 20 times worse, 100 times worse. And I don't know what the cause of that is. I'm tired of saying it's the way they were prepped in spring training because you're in your 3rd, 4th start right now. But when you're talking about, when you're listening to the post-game live, you're hearing Ricky Battaligo saying that his last start of spring, he only got to the 40 pitch count. No wonder why these guys are not ready. Because what, in your last start in spring training, shouldn't you be getting around 75 pitches possibly? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And don't even get me started with some of the bullpen decisions. The only thing that I really understood with Rob Thomson today was bringing Jose Alvarado back for another inning. Of course, that backfired because everything is going wrong. Of course, that backfired with Jose Alvarado. Electric in the 7th inning, but then he comes out in the 8th inning, which I completely understood, and then Soler ties the ball game up. You brought Alvarado out again for another inning to face a Rhys, who was going to be the second batter in that inning. And of course, the guy that you had to get before to get to a Rhys, you couldn't get him out. And then Serafini got into a little bit of a situation. He got out of it. Soto actually looked pretty solid out of the bullpen. 9th inning, he was solid. He came back in for the 10th inning, only faced one batter. Honestly, I would have kept Gregory Soto in there because of how good he was looking. Seriously, he struck a Rhys out. Give the guy a chance at this point, because everyone and their mother knew that Craig Kimbrell coming out of the bullpen, 1 out in the top of the 10th inning with the stupid ghost runner on second base. Everyone knew that was going to come back and bite you in the ass. And of course, it happens with the first batter he faces, Rob. And you bring in Pache later on in the game as a defensive replacement because the Marlins are bringing in a bunch of lefties. But then we're putting Pache in another goddamn situation where he has to come up with a clutch hit. How many times are we going to do this, Rob? How many times are we going to do this? And the matter of the fact, what makes it worse, he is swinging, he is hacking, he is swinging for the fences on the first pitch. The first goddamn pitch. If you got a ghost runner on second base, Pache isn't a good hitter. Just bunt the guy over. Bunt the guy over and let Stott and Turner do their things. But granted, at the end of the day, Bryson, even though I'm not going to harp on Bryson Stott because he had a fantastic day at the plate, even though it was a terrible at-bat from Bryson, it was a terrible at-bat from Trey Turner as well to end the ball game off. 3 terrible at-bats in a row in the bottom of the 10th inning. What are you trying to win the ball game in one swing? Just tie the game up. You got a free runner out there on second and you couldn't drive him home. Like I said, the tone was set from the first inning. The runner in scoring position issue. It's getting old. It's getting old. How do you go from 15 runs in game 1 against Sandy Alcantara? And granted, completely unrealistic to score 15 runs each game. I understand that. But to go from 15 runs to 4 runs yesterday to 2 runs today. What is going on here with the offense? That's what I want to know. And I'm circling 2 major people in this lineup right now is Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto. JT especially. The dude has 1 hit, I believe, in his last 19 at-bats, and he struck out in 9 of those at-bats. Hasn't walked 1 single time. No whiffs. Not even hard contact. He had a double yesterday. That was his first hit in a while. But the dude can't do anything right now. And we know how abysmal his start to the season last year was. This is that times 10. And we're talking about the runners in scoring position today. 2 for 12. 2 for 12. Marsh continues to do his thing. Stott continues to do his thing. They've been your 2 best hitters all year. Yeah, Trey Turner is batting .321. He had another 2 hits today. He was this close to getting his first home run. Hit it right off the top of the fence. Can that mean he could possibly get going? I don't know. I would love to see it. I know I'm criticizing Trey Turner a lot. I know he's been the least of the worries. He's been hitting very consistently. But I would love to see more. I was very spoiled from his World Baseball Classic performance. I want to see that Trey Turner. And yes, maybe when he finally gets that first home run, maybe everything breaks loose for him. But I'm looking at Kyle Schwarber right now, who's batting 188. I'm looking at JT, who's batting 200. 3 strikeouts today. Schwarber, I love Schwarber. I love Kyle Schwarber. But when you're factoring in not having Rhys Hoskins, not having Bryce Harper, who Rob Thomson said that he has a date for Bryce Harper and all that stuff that could be very soon. He's already saying that he can face live pitching. It's just all a matter when he can get cleared for sliding at this point. So that's crazy. But when you lose Rhys Hoskins for the entire year when you still don't have Bryce Harper yet, and then you factor also in losing Derek Hall, another power source, even though he didn't have a home run yet, who's also going to be out for 2 months. They say he got the surgery. He's going to be out 2 months. But now, when you lose a lot of source of power, because right now your consistent power guy has been Alec Bohm. Kyle Schwarber right now, the slow starts, it's going to kill us right now with the lack of power with this lineup. I love Kyle Schwarber, but right now, the slow start can't happen. I know he's going to heat up when the weather gets warm. I know that, but can it happen a little sooner? Can it happen now? Can it happen at the end of April? Can someone just brainwash his mind to consistently think it's June? I need way more. Yeah, Julian, I did see the Matt Gelb article about Bryce Harper playing first base. Definitely very interesting. I would definitely be for that. I'd be very for that. Because then you could still utilize the DH swapping everyone around. I do remember him saying that it would take a little bit of time after he comes back, because when he comes back, he's still going to be the prioritizing DH, and then he's going to learn first base, learn all that stuff. I do think eventually at the end of his career, Bryce does become a first baseman, to be real. When he gets a little bit older near the end of his contract, I think that's where he's going to end up being. But definitely is something worth considering when Bryce comes back. It definitely is. Right now, this team's killing me. The team is killing me right now. Bryson Stott has been amazing, regardless of his base running mistakes. And maybe at that point, when you're talking about the base running mistakes, when is Rob Thomson going to hold someone accountable? Because we're talking about every series so far, there has been at least one base running mistake. All the base running mistakes in Texas, getting picked off at first base in New York. Don't get me started with Sunday against the Reds, with that whole debacle. Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. And then Bryson Stott yesterday. So when is Rob? I know Rob has talked to the team. He has said it. But right now, we are not seeing it transcribed on the field. So when is he going to hold someone accountable? Is he going to bench somebody? Is that even going to happen? Is that even a Rob type of thing to do? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. It's so mind-boggling right now how bad it is to start a year. And like I said, I am a preacher of it's too early to panic. Way too early to panic on all that stuff. But I do believe there's also truth to you can't win the division in April or May, but you can also lose a playoff spot in April and May. And yes, Rob Thomson, his approach to players, I understand. I don't have an issue with his approach to the players, because we all know how players need to be coddled these days. They're not the players like they were so many years ago. I understand being a player's manager, and that's what I like about Rob. But maybe sometimes you need to put your foot down and say when enough is enough at this point. Because the fundamentals right now, that's what's infuriating the most. The fundamentals. The basic things. You're not doing it. You're not running the bases well. You're not hitting with runners in scoring position. Nothing. You're not being disciplined at the plate. You're constantly swinging at the first pitch. That's also something that bothers me. Whenever you get into a big spot, everyone's swinging at the goddamn first pitch. And if I'm looking at the lineup right now, Stott and Marsh have been your most consistent guys there. Bohm has been good. Castellanos, honestly, has been good. Trey Turner, yes, he's hitting over 300. I just want to see a little more. Trey Turner, I know he's fantastic. I just want to see that fantastic side, and I believe we are going to. It's more Schwarber and JT. It's more your stars. It's those guys. Because right now, the young guys, they're holding their weight. And somewhat of Castellanos. They're holding their weight. Stott is, not JT. Bohm is, Marsh is, and somewhat Castellanos. I need more from Turner. I need way more from Schwarber. I need 20 billion times more from JT. And seriously, 3-3 on this homestand, man. You should have swept Cincinnati. You should have won 2 out of 3 in this series. You needed to win 5 out of 6. You needed to win 5 out of 6. Could you accept 4 out of 2? Possibly. You needed to win 5 out of 6 in this series. Now you're 4-8. And now you're going on a road trip. 7 games. 4 in Cincinnati. 3 in Chicago against the White Sox. If you struggle to beat Miami, and Cincinnati gave you a run for your money on Sunday, I don't even know what to expect. I don't. I fully don't. My God. It's annoying. It really is. 12 games into the season, and I've been more pissed off than I have been excited. It really has been. It's a joke. It is. So let's get to the hotline. This is going to be a quicker stream just because of all the freaking feedback issues that I've been getting earlier. It's tiring me out. I was at the game today, too, so that's probably also why I'm tired. So I apologize for that. But let's get to the Anytime hotline. Let's get to this call from Sean. See what he has to say. Sean, what do you got?
Well, I'd have to encapsulate this entire homestand as pathetic. I mean, you had 2 teams that are garbage. You should have swept out the first one, and you should have won at least 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. And once again, they find ways to implode. You know, I got to criticize Rob Thomson a little bit. I don't understand his usage of the bullpen at all. I don't understand Alvarado pitching in the 7th inning and Craig Kimbrell, after Soto seems to be settling in, being brought into the game. I'm sick of this lefty-righty matchup bullshit. And let's call it the way it is. The offense is pathetic right now. JT Realmuto is garbage. Schwarber is garbage. I mean, the only guy consistently hitting is Bryce who was inexplicably moved from the top of the order the night before. Just, again, a bad series, a bad start to the year, and, you know, in closing, the way the game ended is the way it started. First and third, nobody out in the bottom of the first, and you can't score. Man on second in the extra innings, and you can't even get him to third. Well-deserved loss.
We got a little bit of a bullshit there from Sean. Wasn't expecting that, but yeah, warranted. It's absolutely warranted. I don't blame you, Sean. Rob should be criticized right now. The offense should be criticized. Everything, yeah. It's rightfully so. You should have swept the Reds. You should have won 2 out of 3 in this series. You should have won 5-1 in this homestand. Really, it just is. It's annoying. I do see Mr. W saying, gotta sweep the Reds in this 4-game series. It's, granted, I understand how bad the team is playing and trying to sweep a series, but regardless of your opponent, a 4-game sweep is hard to do. I know they did it a bunch of times last year, but the way this team is playing, I can't even say sweep. I don't even think they're going to do that. I'm telling you here right now, being fully honest with you, with the way they're playing, I don't see that happening. I really don't. I barely even see a 3 out of 4 happening. 2 out of 2? And like, do I even say 2 out of 2 with the way this team is playing? I know you got Falter and Strom on the mound this series, but then your question marks, I know Nola pitches and I know Walker pitches. How is Walker going to look in his 3rd start? Second time against the Reds. How is Nola going to fare in his 4th? And same thing with Bailey Falter. He got hit a little bit against the Reds even though he battled, and he only allowed 1 run. How is Bailey going to fare in his 2nd time against the Reds? And yes, I see a bunch of comments that you're facing Lodolo tomorrow too. We struggled against Lodolo on Saturday. And we're playing him again. With the way this offense is hitting, I can't guarantee anything. I know Cincinnati is a good hitter to bark. I don't know. I hate being this way. I hate having this attitude. I do. But it's what this team has given us. It's what's going on. It just is. If this is a 2-5 road trip, yeah, deep trouble. We always struggle in Cincinnati too. Well, I think we did win this series last year in Cincinnati, but it's granted with the way this team is playing. I feel like that. Did we overhype Rob Thomson? Tired of the JT Realmuto? But I think this is right now we're seeing the growing pains of a guy that's now out of the interim tag because, last year he comes in line of Joe Girardi. After he gets fired, there's really no pressure on him and everything goes right. Are we just seeing the growing pains of a guy in his first now full season as a manager? I guess. It's not pleasant. It's not pretty. It's ugly. It really is. Will he get better? Hopefully. I hope so. What else? Wheeler going 6 was good for a change, but for me going deep into the game is 7 innings seems that it feels like that. It really does. Don't know. Hope I'm wrong because I don't know. If they didn't go to the World Series last year, we wouldn't care as much, but come on, this isn't what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Even with the injuries to the squad, they still have enough talent. They have plenty of talent without the injuries. I don't know why it's going this bad. Don't know why. I could not tell you. Like, seriously, we're talking about last year, and we're looking at the climb up that they had to do all of last year. Like, why can't we just get us another season like it was in, from 08 to 2011? When we're the ones at the top. We're the ones that teams are trying to chase. We're the ones that are the epiphany of what teams are trying to be. The class of Major League Baseball. Why are we trying to constantly now, year after year, being the team that's constantly trying to climb up throughout the entire year? Why can't we be right from the get-go the team to beat? I'm tired of it. And I'm not taking anything away from last year. But a little bit of change of pace would be nice. Being first place would be a nice, great change of pace. Being one of the best teams in baseball would be a nice change of pace. I'm tired of the climbing up. I'm tired of the underdog crap. Why do you think we were so excited with the Eagles this year? Because they were all the way to the top and they stayed at the top. Sadly, they lost in the Super Bowl, but you know what I mean. It's annoying. It is. So, we're going to end it off here, man. Julian, I don't even want to look at the September right now, man. I don't even want to look there. I just don't. Gonna end it here, everyone. I'm tired. Mad. Everything with this team. Got another game tomorrow. We're 12 games in, and we're already this infuriated. It's funny. It's not funny, actually. I don't know why I said that. What this team does to you. It's crazy. I saw you, Nola, petition for Alvarado. See your comment there. When Harper gets back, things will be better. I hope so, man. I do believe it will, but it's very bad right now. So we're going to end it off here, everybody. Thank you for joining as always. Do not forget to leave a comment. Do not forget to drop a like. Do not forget to check out everything in the description. Please hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you once again for joining tonight, and I will see you next time before another feedback kills the stream.